The lob gets a bad rap in pickleball, overused, underappreciated, and often seen as a bailout. More often than not, lobs are played from mid-court against players that can and should play effective overheads to punish the errant lob. Today we're going to talk about a couple of prime opportunities to play the lob. The problem with most lobs stems from the location they were struck, not the actual quality of the lob itself. Often they are played from areas in the court that allow opponents too much time to react to the lob, and as such the ball never gets over the intended victim. To play an effective lob, you'll need to consider both depth and angle. Firstly, attempt to play your lob from within the kitchen, as it will give you the best chance to use the element of surprise, getting up and over the heads of your opponent before they've had time to fully prepare to play an overhead smash. Secondly, use the width of the court to make sure you maximize your chances of keeping the ball in. The highest percentage lobs against two right-handed players comes from the forehand side of the deuce court player, over the left shoulder of the diagonal player. By doing this, you'll have some assurance that even if it's a poor lob, it'll be met by a backhand overhead as opposed to a forehand. The time when you decide to play a lob and your motive for doing so says a lot about you as a player. A Type A player will use it to bail themselves out of trouble as a last resort. A Type B player will use it as a tactical weapon that's part of a greater strategy. Which player are you? The exact right time to play a lob is dependent on things like your opponent's height, mobility, and overhead power. If your opponent possesses none of those things, and you don't mind being labeled as that player, then go nuts. Drop shots followed by lobs are the name of the game. Just don't expect to make a lot of friends out there. Let's assume for a moment you're playing against people who can punish a poor lob. Now when is the right time to play it? Firstly, look at their position on the court. The closer they are to the net, the easier it'll be to get the ball over them. Is their posture going to hinder or help them move? Here are 3 great examples of when you should play a lob. If they are struggling to get back into position after a wide ball, if they've just dealt with a net tipper, if they are leaning too far forward. If played well, the lob can be a great weapon. If played poorly, then it'll only serve to perpetuate the idea that you should never lob in pickleball. I hope these tips are going to help you choose your lobs wisely and enjoy a full spectrum of shots in this great game. Keep an eye out for when we look at the other side of the coin, playing effective overheads. The problem with most lobs... yeah. So when is the right? Okay. I like it, that's good.